OK, let's get to Tottenham Hotspur, where Thomas Frank is enjoying the winning feeling at the moment, isn't he? His side, of course, beat Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League on Tuesday. After a horrible run of domestic results, he really needed it. What he doesn't need, though, is more injuries in his squad, does he, at the moment? But he has them anyway. Lucas Bergvall damaged his ankle in the Dortmund match, and Frank joked that the club might be cursed.
Some of it is we always need to assess and look at what can we do to avoid some of the injuries. Then we know there's a lot of contact injuries. Because the Bergvall, how unlucky is that? There was another contact injury I just recently saw. There was the João. There was a few situations. Kudus. Some of them are just, okay, what's happening here? It seems like we are cursed or something like that. But injuries is a part of football. So the next bit we need to look into, how can we make sure that we return to play is speeding up, that we do absolutely maximum we can to get the players back as quick as possible. I think there is something in the match schedule, the amount of games. We're not the only club who is struggling with injuries at all. Many clubs have that, especially if you play European football and especially if you play Champions League. I think that's a big part of that. It's just the load is just so big.
I know Spurs fans won't need reminding of this, but injuries are an ongoing issue. We have got the current top injuries and suspensions in the Premier League. If you see grey, it's a goalkeeper, blue is a defender, red is midfield, and green are forwards who are out either through injury or suspension. Spurs have 7 midfielders. Their midfield is absolutely decimated at the moment. 7 players are out. They have 9 in total. That's the most, by the way, in the midfield position out of everyone in the Premier League. And we have now ticked over into 1,056 days lost to injury and illness this season for Spurs. That's the cumulative days out of all the injured players. Crystal Palace and Chelsea are second and third on the list. Spurs' next opponents, Burnley, in that big game, are 5th.
Michael, another of your former clubs, but, and he's joked there, about they might be cursed at the moment. But, should he be genuinely only judged when all those players are back and fit and raring to go? Or is he just, another of the managers that just have to get on with it and cope?
We're just recovering from how many days we've just seen. Now we're trying to work out the chart. There's been a lot, hasn't there? Some of us struggle a little bit more than others, didn't they?
What are you trying to say about my maths?
Don't want to say too much. Maths need to be improved here, that's for certain. But when you look at Spurs, and it's not just happened for Thomas Frank. Last season, we've seen Ange Postecoglou, all of those injuries. We've seen the medical department change. They've got to find something in these players that make them a better resolve to a Premier League and a European campaign, because the level is just not right. And we've also seen Thomas Frank come in and say, right, we're going to be more conservative. We're going to sit in. We're going to have a base. Spurs fans haven't necessarily liked that because they haven't created enough. But he's still not found the formula. But his hands are tied, and he's getting a lot of criticism. I think he's done really, really well to take this Brentford side to where he did, and now he's got the opportunity at Spurs. But he's not the first manager to have come up with these problems. So I think we need to stick, have a little look, and realise where he's at, and let him be able to build slowly. But he's up against a big win in the Champions League right at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? He's been speaking about the level of support he feels he has from above. Let's hear from him and have a chat about it in a minute.
The support, I think, has been exceptional throughout the season. Not only, I know there's a few questions about me, but it's not about me. It's about me, the staff, the players, the club, and that need to be aligned. And that direction and alignment is very clear from ownership to the board, to Vina, Johan. Everyone is on the same page, and there's a lot of things going in the right direction. We just need to back it up even more. Good performance and more good result. Had lunch with Nick and Johan again today, so I think it's again a good sign of just that support there is, and we need to keep going. We have it's always the next game that is the most important one, and away to Burnley is a very important one. After that, there's away game to Frankfurt, very important one. All the games are very important, and I know we need more points, but if you're higher up, they will also be very important, because then we'll achieve more.
Gone for another lunch with the hierarchy, which could Could be a good thing. Apparently they had chicken sandwiches. But do you feel he's got the support from the board and also the fans? We saw, it did go a little toxic, dare I say, against West Ham at the end of that match. There were boos. You don't really know what they're booing, whether they're booing the players on the pitch, whether they're booing Thomas Frank. Do you feel he's got the fans and the boardroom?
It's a collective, isn't it? Because I think those Spurs supporters are getting at the board, realise that there needs to be more of a level of investment in the playing squad. We've got the best stadium, best training ground. We've talked so much about that. Now a manager who wants players, who wants reinforcements, can he get that? We've had a real reshuffle, haven't we, on the board and the level above.
Yeah.
Daniel Levy leaving, but it's how much can be committed for him. And do you take it as a good sign that he's going out and having lunch and having chats? Are they just working through him to see where he's at? To see whether they feel like there's a change?
Like that,
are they speaking to other people as well? Some people would say that's the right thing to do, so they're ready just in case of any sort of outcome. If the next game was to be a loss, it really is not ideal, is it, that it's Burnley away? Because you don't win that, it's going to be ultimate criticism. I really like that he's balanced. He understands where he's at. He's not trying to sort of lie to anybody or lead them down the wrong way. But he needs results at this moment in time. But he needs the backing from the board, and they've got to give him a player or two. I think that'd be a really big lift now. But the Spurs supporters are getting very frustrated. I did the FA Cup game against Aston Villa at half-time. It didn't look like there was a way back. They come out fighting. They had a go. So the West Ham was very, very disappointing. It's one of them, isn't it? Higher and lower all the time for the Spurs side. And some of those players back as well will certainly feel like new signings. And
you know the club really well, and let's say you're witnessing them as well, you're watching the games too, but how demanding are they, as a club to work for?
They are, and it's for these supporters. It's not just a thing of winning. They want to win with style.
Yes,
that's fine because it's
all
the
about
Spurs
that,
way. But they'd also say, do you know what? If we're winning, we'll take away some of that. But when you're not seeing either, then there's frustration there. And I think for Thomas Frank to come into this situation, he's maybe unfortunate that it's happened for a long time. And I think that's where the patience is very thin. That's maybe the problem. But they've got some wonderful talent. But really, it's that steel and determination not to get beat. He's tried and had a look at it. Showed some good signs away from home where they were counter-attacking and looked okay at the start of the season, where you felt they would have gone on to the top end. But they've found it tough now. They've got a little bit of nervous tension. Home form has been very, very poor. So they've got to just really stick with it. That would be the message really from me to the Spurs supporters. We get the frustration. We as former players want them to deliver trophies and good times, but I just think we need a bit of calm now around the place.
Very briefly, probably in one word, if they could buy one player this window, what would it be? Where would it be on the park?
Where would it be on the park? A real top-class central midfielder. I think that's somewhere who could. I would say that bias is midfield.
Yes, of course you are.
More than one word, wasn't it?
It was more than one.
Get told off.
I'll tell you off in the break. Coming up, Liverpool have become the richest club in England, but why can't the British sides topple the monopoly of Real Madrid and Barcelona? Our chief correspondent, Statistical, will explain all next.